G'day folks, Conor here, back with another video. Now today is a bit of an interesting one. I have been doing a fair bit of traveling the last few years and I've been narrowing down my travel photography kit to a very small amount of gear. And today I want to share with you what I think is the best gear to take with you when you're traveling for street photography. Now if you're a landscape photographer or wildlife, this is different. But if you're just taking a camera for street photography, travel photography, content creation, that sort of thing, then I think this video can help you a lot with the gear that I've got and the experiences that I've had. Now my first trip overseas, recently in the last 3 years, I went to the Philippines and I took $20,000 worth of camera gear. And I stuffed it all into 2 suitcases and carry-on bags and I lugged it all around with me and it was horrendous. And I thought, never again. Then the next one I went and I took like 1 camera and 2 big lenses. And then the next time I went, I took one camera, 1 big lens and 1 prime lens. And now I have it narrowed down to a very small amount of gear. And I'll put a couple of alternatives here in front of us as well. First thing I want to talk about is the camera. Now there's many alternatives for street photography and I think my choice is a different one to most of you. But it is one full frame mirrorless camera, the Canon R6 Mark II. It can do like 40 frames per second. It's really good in low light. The video is really good quality. Canon, you don't really need to say much about Canon. When you get to the R6 sort of level, good quality, everything's amazing. Now the lens that I was taking previously was the 24-70 f2.8. And this bad boy is amazing. But it is heavy. It's almost a kilo just in itself. And so when you're doing like 10 hours a day of street photography, a 1 kilo lens can be pretty heavy. And it takes its toll on you. So I've decided to retire this from the street photography kit. It's okay if I'm local and in the same town that I live in. I can put it in a bag, carry it around, take it out when needed. But for traveling, I really need the light kit. And that's where this lens comes in, the Canon RF 35mm f1.4. This is the best lens you can get, prime lens for Canon. And for Canon and street photography, I should say. I absolutely love this lens. It is my go-to lens. It is still pretty heavy at like, I think it's 500 grams, but it's not a kilo. And it goes with the body. So altogether, you've got like 900 grams worth of kit. Image results, video quality, amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love it. So that is my go-to. I think if you're a Canon shooter and you can get this lens, you will not be disappointed. The quality, the sharpness, the autofocus, everything on this lens is incredible. That is my street photography kit. I might change this in the years to come. I might have maybe something like the Fuji X100 whatever series is out by then, but or maybe a Leica, because they're small and amazing as well. But so far this is what's doing it for me, the Canon R6 Mark II. So that's the camera. I'm just going to put this aside for a second. Oh, now an alternative to that lens is the RFS 35mm. It comes in at f1.8 and it has a macro feature as well, and it is a lot lighter. It's still a really good lens. I have taken it with me. That's what I took last time to Cambodia. Link to the video here if you want to see that and some of the photography I got from that. And it's a great little lens. Worth it, but not as good as the VCM. Now, everyone has an action camera. You see them all the time. There's new ones being released all the time and everyone's trying to get your money. But for me, I've got the DJI Action 3. Why have I got this? Because it was a good price. And I don't think I need to get the Action 5 or the GoPro 78 or the 360R, whatever it is that's going around at the moment. On my last trip, 6 months ago, my DJI Action original died. I didn't close the battery port, water got in it and it died. So I was upgrading, and this was just a really good price. It was like $350 or something like that. So that is my go-to action camera. I take that when I'm out and about. Sometimes I'll clip it to a chest plate or clip it to a bag, or even just handheld it like this while I'm doing a bit of vlogging or something like that. So good image quality. You can get 4K 60, 4K 50, good 4K, good colors. I mean, it's good enough. No one ever complains about the footage, you know, at this level. DJI Action 3, great little camera, even better for the price. So that's my go-to action camera. Put that aside. Now, for both of them, I take two batteries, one for the Action 3, an extra one, and one for the Canon R6 Mark II, an extra one. And I always go with original batteries. I get Canon batteries for Canon gear, and I get DJI Action batteries for DJI gear. Whatever the thing is that I'm using, I get the same brand battery. You just get better results. So that's what I do. Now I could probably get three, an extra one each, and that would do me well, but I do just scrape by with these, and then I charge at the end of the day. So that is handy. Now, just quickly, a couple of light, an ND filter, and a CPL filter. So the ND filter is glasses on your lens, and the CPL filter is like polarization for your sunglasses, for your lens, I mean. So that's what they do. They go in, they get used sometimes. I do use them. They're good for like slow shutter photography as well. Microphones. Now I have taken previously this, and it has been perfect. There was no need for anything else. This did the job just fine. However, I recently did just purchase the Rode Wireless Pro, and this comes with two transmitters and one receiver. I'm using one now, that's why it's not in the case. And the audio is amazing. It's 32-bit float, and you can put one on yourself and one on someone else and share them around. You know, you can hold them like they do in the vlogger, TikTokers of the world. They hold them these days in their hands instead of clipping it to them. So very versatile, good microphones, great audio quality. Really love it. Now, these were, I think, 500 Aussie. So that's expensive. And they weigh a little bit more than one of these. And this was like $60 Aussie. So there is a huge difference in price, but I do prefer this. But they're all Rode. I think Rode have the best products for mics for this situation. So they are my go-to microphones at the moment. I use them for everything, and the good thing about them is I can just record straight into this. I don't have to have it plugged into my camera, and then I can sync this audio up with this, or I can sync this audio up with my phone, or I can sync this audio up with my camera. I don't have to have it plugged into the camera, although you can transmit straight from this to the receiver on the camera. So that's my audio. That's my microphones. Next thing I want to say is that I do like to have options for camera straps. So I do take this one because it's the lightest. It's the Canon R6 Mark II original strap that came with the camera. I like that because after a long day, I can just let the camera hang around my neck. But for the majority of the day, I will use this Peak Design wrist strap. This is like 70 bucks. I'll put a link to all this stuff down below. This is $70, and it goes in, my wrist goes in, this clips onto the camera, and no one's going to steal it or pinch it. I'm not going to drop it or anything like that. So this I will have on for most of the day. Once I start to get pretty tired, I'll throw this on. Now I do have the interchangeable full neck strap that has the same connectors, but it's a bigger strap. I don't really like it. It's a bit heavier and it's a bit bulky, so I tend to just use the Canon one and spend an extra minute taking it off and putting it on again. So that's my strap options. Tripod. I take this. I don't really use it. and I don't really recommend it. It's okay. I mean, it's just something I can stick the camera on if I really need a tripod. Or if I was going to do some vlogging, this would help a little bit. But I don't recommend it. I think it's not user-friendly, but, you know, I spent like friggin' 100 Aussie dollars on it, so I'm sort of like just forcing myself to use it. But it screws into the camera easy with this. You can move the head around nice and easy, but it's a bit fiddly because you have to tighten it and loosen it. So you can, you know, it's just fiddly. And then the legs, they come out like this, and then you push this button over and they go out even further. It's just fiddly. I don't really like it, but it's what I do use and it's what I do take. I don't take a big tripod. It's just too much bulk because I actually don't use check-in luggage. I only have carry-on luggage for my trips now. So one bag with all my clothes, all my camera gear, carry on, 9 kilos for 2-week trips. And so this is for a 2-week trip, all this stuff. So that is my tripod. Don't recommend it, forced to love it. I like the GorillaPod, Joby GorillaPod one, but they get too flimsy and they fall over. So I don't really use them that much, but I do like the idea behind them. A couple of honourable mentions here. I take this, so I can put my phone in it and also connect it to the tripod as well. So I can, it's just another option for filming gear, filming stuff. So the phone goes in there, clips onto the tripod, happy days. So that is a little honourable mention. This is like available, again, links down below. This is like, not much, maybe 12 Aussie dollars. So it'd be like $1 US. And I've had it for like 10 years, something ridiculous like that. Honourable mention, any microfiber cleaning cloth weighs 1 gram. You just have to have one. Just get one at all times. Take it with you. And another thing I do use, because my memory cards can fill up pretty quickly, I do have this. It is by Atom, a brand. I bought it in Cambodia, and it takes micro SD cards and normal SD cards. It takes power, it takes USB type A, and it just helps me sometimes just whack in the SD card, transfer it to my phone or to my tablet that I take with me as well. So that is really handy, especially if I just want to drag something over onto my phone, edit it, and then share it on social media. This is good. I like it. And it's not as fiddly as trying to connect things through Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and all that sort of thing. It's just put in the SD card and transfer it to your phone, and it's instant. So I really like this. This is one of my little favorites. It's like one of the things, you know, like you use a lot but never really talk about. So links down below to that as well. I don't even know if there is links for it, I'll put them down below. But that's a bit of a go-to, a bit of a favorite. Now, when I'm walking around on the streets, I have my new camera bag, and it's actually just a massive bum bag, and it's made by Conor, and I can actually fit this camera in it if I need to, and then I can also fit in there like action camera, batteries, passport, wallet, you know, like I can fit quite a lot in there. Generally the stuff that's in here will be like that, and the camera will be in my hand. But this is a big bum bag, or I think the Yanks call it a fanny pack. Very handy. I've used it a fair bit in Brisbane doing street photography, and I just put it more over my shoulder, not really around my waist, just over my shoulder. Fits so much in there. It's great, very handy. It's got a couple of compartments at the back as well if you want to stash something really far away. And if I'm tired, I can just throw the camera in there as well. Everything goes in there. Works great, love it. I'll do a proper video on this. I think it's a bit of an unspoken hero. The Cotopaxi, I think it's 4-litre bum bag. It's almost like a backpack, but I love it. So that is all my gear that I take on my trips. I'm trimming it down as the years go on, getting more and more nimble. Now, why do I minimize my lens use? Because the more lenses you have, the more zoom you have, the more options you have, the less photos you take. Whereas I just have one fixed focal length, I learn to love it, I discover it, and I'm more creative with it. You know, you zoom with your feet, you look at your lines more, you look at your composition more, rather than just trying to crop in and out by zooming. And I prefer this. Not only that it's lighter. So 35mm is my favorite focal length. 50 is pretty good as well, but I really like that 35mm. Definitely my go-to, especially in this lens. It's so good for video, it's so sharp. I do have it on f7.1 most of the time. I have it auto ISO, and then my shutter speed at about 1/500th of a second. And I do use manual mode, except for that auto ISO. I just adjust everything myself. So that is it. That is my kit. I love my kit. It's my favorite kit. Questions down below. If you use the links and they don't work or something like that, or you have questions about the mics or the lenses or the tripod or the ND filters, they're by Earth. Links down below for those as well. They're all over Amazon. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to be doing like a video a day when I'm overseas. I'll be in Hanoi, and I'll be in other places like Ninh Bình and maybe Cat Bar Island and places like that. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't, because I'll be releasing videos all about my street photography and my travels. Good times coming. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Check out.